Tell me when. Hello everybody, Rick Hinderer here at IWA 2019 and having a great time here at the show. Love being in Nuremberg, Germany, and today is the third day of the show. Starting to wind down a little bit, a perfect time to talk about Rick Hinderer knives and some of the new projects that we have this year and some of the new things coming up. So the first thing I want to talk about, which is new, is our vintage series. This is our vintage series knife, and what it is and what makes it different from some of our other ones is the fact that this is just a regular XM18 3.5 inch and a spear point. But what I did was I made it in all what I would call vintage materials. So even though it's a regular XM18, the blade steel I made out of 01. 01 is an old steel. It's an old carbon steel, tool steel, and they used it 100 years ago. So, which makes it, and it's a great steel, but it makes it into the vintage type of build. And the coating on the blade is actually Parkerizing, it's old military Parkerizing. The handles I opted for just regular walnut, so it's not treated other than oil finish, but it's not stabilized. It's just exactly like they used on the old firearms, the old military firearms. All of the hardware is stainless steel, but we heat anodized it to make it look old vintage. The lock side I did in a OD green, kind of a matte finish, which also looks like an old Parkerized action of an old gun. And so that kind of completes the vintage look. We also serial number each one of them. And the prefix of the serial number is a V, which stands for vintage. Also, that has a little bit of a connection with the past. The United States made Smith & Wesson, which is a handgun maker, made a series of revolvers in World War II that they called the Victory model, and all the prefix was a V. So it kind of goes back to that a little bit. So this is the Victory, or the vintage series. It's gone over really, really well. We've had a lot of excitement on these. We're going to make every model of Hinderer knives made is going to be done in a vintage series at some point. So like the full track, the half track, they will all be offered in a vintage series at some point. So the next new model that we have that we're really excited about, this is a new fixed blade for Rick Hinderer knives. It's been in the works for probably a year and a half, and I finally got it delivered, made and delivered about 3 months ago. And it's a very, very comfortable knife. It's called the Ranch Bowie. It's a very comfortable knife to hold. It's got a very ergonomic handle. You can see the palm swells. It's a 3D sculpted handle. And we offer these in 3V steel right now, as well as the handles will be micarta and G10. So yeah, that's a new, absolutely brand new knife. We're also offering the sheath is a really heavy duty leather sheath made locally by some Amish craftsmen, old world craftsmen. So very nice, very heavy duty, and just really goes well with the whole package.
Actually, last season was the season of some gadgets, and now it's old school season.
Exactly. It's the vintage season. Yes, exactly. And we'll continue that with our battlefield pickup. And we kind of debuted these last year, and what it is, it's the same. It's a regular XM18, but we do a different finish on it. An acid wash finish on the blade. We actually distress all of the hardware, the lock side components, so it looks like you're walking through a battlefield. You actually pick it up off the ground, so it looks like a heavily used knife. So that is our battlefield pickup. These are also serial numbered, and also they're very, very popular, especially popular here in Europe. So we do have one more new knife, and I forgot to put it out on the table. Okay, so our next new model, is a knife that we are really excited to be releasing, and it's called the Full Track. So it follows the lineage of the Half Track. Obviously, it's bigger than the Half Track, which is why we called it the Full Track. And the blade is 3 3/4 inch long, so it's just shy of 4 inches. It has a wide profile, which allows for a nice long edge grind. So it's a great slicer because of that. It's done in a spear point version right now. We're also our next batch is going to be in a Spanto, the classic Spanto version, and it's all titanium with handle cutouts, so that with G10 or micarta inserts. Also, this one was the knife that I debuted, the new tri-way pivot system. The tri-way pivot system allows the user to change the washers from nylon to phosphor bronze to bearings. So the user can be able to take the knife apart and put in whatever pivot system that they would want. It's called the tri-way pivot system, and all Hinderer knives, folding knives, will have that system, and you can tell because of the tri-way logo on the flipper tab. And consequently, this knife has a pocket in the handle, underneath this handle, where you can actually store all of the different washers and everything for your pivot system. And to get to that, another new item on this knife is a tool that is stored on the knife. It clips in so that it will not fall out, and it's stored on the knife, and it allows you to be able to take apart the whole knife. So you can take the pivot out, the handle screws, the back screws. You can take it all apart, clean your knife, change your pivot system, whatever you like to do, and put the knife back together with one tool. And when you're done with it, it snaps right into the handle. So it's a very, very exciting item. We're getting a lot of great feedback on it, and we've already made one batch of these knives, and they've done very well. They've done very well. So that's about the wrap up of all the new items that we have at Hinderer Knives. We got a lot more coming this year. It's exciting year for us. We're growing, and we're also going to grow new models, new items to put on your knives to make it your own. And Rick Hinderer Knives appreciates all of your support. Enjoy the rest of the show, and we'll see you next time.